Anyway, so Ben's going to say, hey, I'm Ben Silverio. You're going to say, hey, I'm Rachel Granda-Gluski. I'm going to say, and I'm Ansel Burch. And then we'll all say, and it's time to party. Well, Ben will say, and it's. We all say, and it's time to party.
Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
I'm Rachel Granda-Gluski.
And I'm Ansel Burch.
And it's
time to party. We are not doctors. We don't give medical advice. Please drink responsibly. This episode's recorded on April 8th, 2025. Welcome to our bonus blooper episode for Terminator Genisys. I hope you enjoy this weird collection of random digressions and stuff we just plain messed up. I don't know this lore, so I'm excited for it.
It's weirdly one of the things that, I know about you very distinctly, because not only have you told me, but, multiple people have confirmed. They're like, oh, yeah, Ben hates Jai Courtney. And I was just like, what
That's
about,
so funny.
I mean, he's a very mediocre white dude, but, what about Jai Courtney do you hate so much?
But he's, more mediocre than most. He's... I'll get into it on the pod.
Just have a very punchable face.
Such a punchable face, my God.
I did have a double take because I forgot Matt Smith was in this film for 5 seconds. And I was like, wait, what the fuck?
At a time.
Doctor?
Yeah, it's clear they could only afford him for 1 day of shooting, and they just had to
Well, actually, it was my understanding that he had a bigger part at one point, and then rewrites and things limited his part. And I'm like, that's so dumb. Why would you do that?
Why would you?
I wonder if it was supposed to be him the whole time, and they just replaced him with the other guy because he was cheaper.
I don't know. There's so many reasons that this movie could have been better.
So many.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Is this only our second Terminator? This is Ansel from the future coming in to correct Ansel and Ben from the past. We watched Terminator 2 back in season 3. Don't listen to us. We're wrong about a lot of this.
It is. Yeah, we did the original Terminator. And now this
for
one.
episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow we managed to skip the best one, which is wild.
Just means we can come back around to it.
Yeah, we'll get to Terminator 2 eventually. Which is...
I mean, we've also skipped the original Back to the Future and the first Bill and Ted, so...
Wow.
Really? I've actually never seen Back to the Future.
Wow.
We can fix that.
I grew up with kind of weird hippie parents, and they didn't watch a lot of, popular films themselves, so I really missed out on, a really large portion of the, 80s, 90s movie zeitgeist, just because my parents never watched them, so nobody showed them to me. And then my friends, once I got to high school and college, started finding out that I had never seen Goonies, and I had never seen Ghostbusters, and started being like, oh my God, we have to show you these movies. But somehow Back to the Future is one I've still just never been forced to sit down and watch.
I have still never seen Goonies.
Wild to me still.
I know.
But I'm just picturing Rachel watching My Dinner with Andre and Harold and Maude as a small child.
No, my parents were just big nerds. So I watched a lot of Star Wars and Star Trek with my dad, but they didn't really watch popular films. We watched a lot of old movies because my dad is quite a bit older than I am. So we were watching stuff I watched a lot of musicals. He was really big into classic Hollywood musicals. So we watched a lot of Singing in the Rain. Yes. He would watch anything with Humphrey Bogart in it. He loved Humphrey Bogart. And so that is what I constantly grew up on what my parents enjoyed as kids. So I listened to a lot of oldies growing up. I didn't listen to popular music until middle school. I came to middle school and then they were like, have you heard of Britney Spears? And I was like, what?
Oh, you might appreciate this.
I was homeschooled, except I wasn't. I just had weird hippie parents.
So for LA's Free Museum Day, one of the museums was the Academy Museum. And so I went, and it was awesome. It's a great museum. Regardless of my feelings about the Academy itself, the museum is great. Sure. And they have an exhibit currently featuring various things from Casablanca.
Oh.
and they have both of the pianos that Sam plays in the movie, the one from Rick's office and the other one in the restaurant.
That's
And
cool.
I was talking to the curator, or well, not the curator, but like someone who works at the museum, one of the tour guides, probably.
Docent sort of person.
Yeah, and I was asking about, you know, the Casablanca stuff, and they were like, you know, the pianos are actually on loan to us from two very special donors, and I'm like, that's really great. Who are they? The first one is George Lucas. The second one
Of
is
course.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Huh.
And
that also tracks.
And the person I was talking to didn't know whose was whose, but we guessed that
The great mystery.
right? But we guessed that the more iconic one, which is the one where it's like, play it again, Sam, play as time goes by. I think that one is George Lucas's. That's my guess. And he said, you know, you're probably right. So I'm gonna
I
right.
honestly would have guessed the opposite. I would have
Really?
thought the like slightly more obscure piano was George Lucas's.
Ah.
And because I just feel like he would know more about the movie and film and that kind of thing. And I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio would own the more famous piano.
The iconic one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just figured that since, you know, the one was more money, that George Lucas probably had that one, you know, but
That's fair.
You never know. Leo could be a softie for Casablanca.
Leo is also quite rich
That's
has a big gambling problem.
Has
So
so much money.
so much money. God, what's that like? That must be nice.
I know.
Apparently it's overwhelming is what I understand.
Jeez. Oh no, you don't have any debt and you can afford to eat.
Oh, poor thing.
Oh no, you can pay rent. Actually, you probably own the house.
Now I got to think about supporting two households. And what about the staff?
You mean I don't have to cry of my cat's $700 vet bill from yesterday? Oh God, that's such a hard life.
Wait, you mean instead of just replacing the tire on your car, you just get a whole new car?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right.
God. These people live like 10 minutes away from me. Like,
yeah, you can probably see some of them.
So this is also like what's happening in my parents' neighborhood right now. The last time I went home to my parents' neighborhood, which used to be full of old hippies like my parents, they were walking me around the neighborhood and they were showing me all these houses that are now like brand new multi-million-dollar homes, like just so much money. And they were showing me this house around the corner that is like a refurbished farmhouse it was like on the market for like just under $1 million.
Jesus.
And we were just walking past and I was like, do you guys remember when the house across the street got busted for selling meth? Like, this neighborhood has really changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does everyone appreciate your parents staying there because it keeps the like property values just a little bit lower?
They're not even, no, my parents are actually like really like so it's like a weird battle between the super like, everyone who lives there is mostly white, but like the gentrification of like the rich people coming in, and then the weird hippies who still like keep chickens. Their neighbor has bees. Like, there's so many places that have chickens in my parents' neighborhood that once when my dad was going for a walk, he found a chicken just like chilling on the side of the road. And he was like, oh, I should return you to your person. And so he picks the chicken up, looks around, and there are 5 houses within like eye shot that have chickens.
Aww.
He was like, oh no. And he went to every single house until he figured out where the chicken lived.
Did the chicken live at the last house? That would be
No,
very
it was
funny.
actually, I think, like the second or third house he went to, but they were really grateful because part of their fence had fallen down. But he did like walk up to their front door, knock, and was like, "Is this your chicken?" Like,
they should get like dog tags, but for chickens, you know?
Oh man, yeah.
oh, I feel like they wouldn't stay on.
Oh,
they would not. That is absolutely true.
Like,
Chickens
a
are
chicken's
shaped
head
like a
is
cone.
not really
all
big
over.
enough to like I feel like if a chicken put its head down, it would just slide off.
Yep.
There's not really a big enough head to neck ratio to like stop it from.
What about like ankle bracelets? Like,
I mean,
yeah, you can ankle bracelet them.
Birds, but you don't know how to read like a tag to figure out where it goes.
get like a scanner.
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid
Yeah, you
growing
don't
up in
chip
the
your
country,
chickens like you do a
Yeah.
dog or a cat.
we would occasionally get the neighbors' cows that would come up into our yard.
Oh, the cows have the earrings, right? Like that say
Yeah,
who
but,
they are.
I mean, but we knew whose cows they were.
Yeah.
Oh, these delinquent cows. They're
Yeah.
One of the barns I rode horses at, like once we came in the morning and there was like a sheep in the barn and we were like,
You're new.
who do you belong to? Where did you come from? Why are you eating our hay? And it was some neighbor's sheep had like gone for a stroll.
Yep. I'm a horse.
The horses were all like, what the fuck is that? Like, what? We've never seen a sheep before. What is it? That's not a dog.
oh
Well,
inquisitive
should we?
sheep.
Yeah. Should we do some drinking and smoking rules?
Sure.
Yes, I have good ones. I'm really proud of myself this time.
Ooh,
Awesome.
okay.
Well,
It might be for the next one, which I just found out is happening this year.
There's another Terminator film?
Apparently, I just saw this. Terminator Final War.
oh, isn't that an anime?
2025. The trailer looks like people. I don't know. It's got Linda Hamilton in it.
Really?
Oh, Linda Hamilton.
Unless this is fake. It could be fake. Hold on.
Could be fake.
Let me find out for real if this is an actual thing.
Because I thought I
almost
remembered.
wanted to pick, what is it, Dark Fate or whatever the one she's in?
Oh yeah.
Because that woman has aged like a fine wine.
Sure.
And is still a babe.
Total badass.
Okay. We're all okay. That was a fake trailer put together by some jackass on YouTube. All right, we're
Good.
safe. I guess there is a rumor of a Terminator 7 movie, and there's a rumor that John Cena might be in it, but that is all there is.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That's actually intriguing.
John Cena, who's now a bad guy. He turned on all his C Nation. He's very evil now.
The wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The true American art form.
My husband is
that
the
and
wrestling
jazz.
fan, not me. He'll like talk about these characters, and I do the sure, okay, sounds great. It's the same face I make when he talks about Warhammer. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ansel, what's something that you talk about that Tab is like, oh yeah, okay.
I mean, most things, I think. I mean, definitely D&D. Definitely D&D.
Oh yeah.
She for a while there made a good attempt at like acting to like she cared, and then just at this point
just surrendered.
I'm lucky if she asks how did D&D go.
But yes,
I want to know how much he got paid for this. I'm curious.
Ooh. I mean, if it was supposed to be a bigger part, probably a lot.
I also meant to look it up, like where this ended up in his filmography. Like, was he still actively doing? Was this post Doctor Who?
This was post Doctor Who. Yeah.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
this was kind of when he was trying to really break into Hollywood.
Yes.
Okay.
I am curious.
That makes more sense now.
I am curious now what he did after this, because where is he? He's so far down on the IMDb. No, he's not. He's like 5th, 6th.
I just went straight to his page.
Do you think that do you think this is worse? This cameo is worse than what is it, Morbius, or in terms of like bad movies that he's been
Was he in Morbius?
He was in Morbius. I honestly just blocked all of Morbius out of my mind.
I still haven't seen it.
I just know it's terrible.
This was before Last Night in Soho, which was the last movie we covered him in.
Yeah, he did this the year after he left Doctor Who.
Okay. Yeah, so I think this was like his first attempts at breaking into
Yeah.
Hollywood. I can
'Cause he
see
did-
it makes more
height of
sense.
his powers.
Yeah, because he did Pride and Prejudice and Zombies after this movie, and then The
I forgot
Crown.
he was in that.
Hmm.
I hated that book. That's a different podcast.
It
though.
was quite bad. Yeah.
So bad.
For some reason, I thought he might have been in more things since Doctor Who, but I guess that's not the case.
Apparently not.
He's still very good though.
Yeah.
I like him.
He's definitely like a TV show guy, though. Like
Yeah.
his big things have all been TV shows.
Well, now he's making that dragon money, so.
Yeah.
Right.
He did Doctor Who, big thing. He did The Crown, big thing. Now he's in the Dragon Show, big thing. I feel like I don't really remember his movies. I only remember him in.
Was he good in Last Night in Soho? I'm trying to remember Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, he was the creepy boyfriend in the past.
Right.
Who owned the club.
Is Matt Smith the new Ted Danson? Like he's just awesome on TV roles, but every time he tries to do a movie, it's like, oh yeah, Ted was there. I love Ted Danson, for the record. Like he's still
True.
great, and he's doing amazing
But
stuff.
well
Like
established.
that show Man on the Inside on Netflix, very good. And of
I haven't
course-
seen it yet. It looks great.
Highly recommend it. Hopefully, it gets a second season. But The Good Place and Cheers, obviously.
Oh, I love The Good Place.
I love Ted Danson. Ansel, let's call up Ted Danson. See what he's doing.
Yeah. Of all the famous people who are way outside of our league, Ted Danson might be the one who would come on the show. He just seems like he's got that vibe.
He loves talking to people. Like, have you ever listened to his podcast? It's great. He just loves meeting new people.
That's
There we
fun.
go.
He has a podcast with Woody Harrelson called Where Everybody Knows Your Name. Woody is barely on it because he's very busy. So sometimes it's just Ted talking to people. There's an excellent episode where he interviews his wife, Mary Steenburgen.
Aw,
Aw.
that's adorable.
It was a two-parter. It was very nice. They have cast members from Cheers pop in sometimes, and
Of course.
they're great. Kelsey Grammer, George Wendt. They get them all in there. They're working their
There you
way through. I'm waiting for the Rhea Perlman episode.
There you go.
I'm just picturing someone like from the past asking someone now, being like, "Oh yeah, future boy, and who's the president in 2025? Donald Trump, the reality star."
Yeah.
The real estate guy? Art of the Deal? That guy?
Yeah. Oh man.
Omaha Steaks, but worse? That guy?
Home Alone 2 star. Oh God, and he's dooming us all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. I'm sure no one wants to talk about this, but what is something this week that the tariffs are affecting that you're so disappointed by? Other than everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the
Books. Several major British, like so Waterstones, which is basically the British version of Barnes and Noble, and Blackwell's, which is like British discount books, have both just stopped shipping to the US. They're not accepting new orders. Everybody's pre-orders are on hold. So like if you ordered a book, they haven't canceled them yet, but they're like holding everything. And I have a bunch of Waterstones pre-orders that I had for months. And I don't know if I'm going to get them because of the
that's so
tariffs.
A number of independent toy makers have manufacturing in China, so they've just had to cancel their lines. So
wow.
many of these action figures are just not going to exist now.
Yeah.
well, and how many of them are fully made but will never leave China?
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's crazy. Aunt was actually talking too about my husband plays Warhammer, which is a British company that probably produces all of their product in China.
Yeah,
Damn.
probably.
So I don't know how much those are, and those are already expensive. Like for anyone who plays Warhammer or any of the Games Plus properties, that shit's already expensive. And I can't imagine like I think this might, and this is going to have a really negative impact on like the actual competitive aspect of that gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if American Warhammer players can't get the latest thing because it's like cost prohibitive, then how are they going to be able to actually compete in any of these tournaments?
Yeah. A lot of people in the games industry are very concerned because paper is not milled in the United States very much.
That's
So
another book
even if
thing.
your book is printed in the United States, they have to get the paper from China or India.
Actually, most paper, well, at least in the book industry, most books printed in the US are made with paper from Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Still not good.
Yeah.
Yep. Still not good. Also, those poor penguins.
Yeah, those poor penguins.
Poor penguins.
10% tariff.
I just manufacturing's really going to suffer.
Yeah. But I will say, as much as like the industries that I care about are suffering, and the games and toys and all the cool shit that I enjoy, ultimately it's coffee, just coffee. That's going to hit me every single morning.
As a person who owns an aging car. Two, really, because Aunt's car is also kind of old. Me and my husband and our old cars. Oh, those are going to get so expensive to fix.
I can scooch that around in post.
Okay, fair enough. Host in post. Bow, bow, bow.
Wow, wow. You know why they're yellow, and then that's all you got.
I actually know why they're yellow.
If
would you
I'm assuming it's for visibility.
Yeah, no, it's because they actually did studies, and yellow is the most easy to see color.
Oh, I was trying to stop you because I was going to say, if you would allow me to selfishly go first, I've actually decided to talk about school buses.
I just get so excited about my one school bus fun fact. Start again. I didn't say anything.
My whole third paragraph is about the color.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post.
Oh, it's these two excitable white nerds are like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
I just like color theory. I'm sorry, Ben.
No, it's okay.
I can't believe you picked school buses. That's brilliant.
Isn't that wild? I was like, what am I going to talk about? Because everything sounds way too sciencey. And I'm just like, you know what? School buses.
Another good one, though, would have been tracer rounds. Because they used so many of them in the opening scene. All I could think about was purple tracer rounds. Or are they lasers? I couldn't tell if they were trying to be tracer rounds or they were trying to be lasers.
Well, I think they were lasers originally.
But they were shooting them out of guns. Like they had just normal guns, which still shot purple things. Everything had a tracer round in
it. There's just a lot more phosphorus in the apocalypse.
Yeah, the air quality is terrible.
Ansel, the last time we visited this franchise, do you remember what we edutained our audience with?
We definitely had shotguns.
That was mine.
And was this the one where we did phone booths or phone books?
As errands, right? I want to say it was phone booths.
What was yours? Were you shotguns?
I was shotguns, yeah.
Okay.
Probably should have checked on that before I started talking. Sorry, I didn't even think about that.
That's going in the pile.
Do you have a list like you do with the movies of all the different edutainments you've done?
Honestly, we should at this point.
We don't.
I don't even remember what I picked for Kate and Leopold.
I also don't remember what you did for Kate and Leopold.
I've stated it away.
It was Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Was that when I was doing ranting about the horses, or
it might have been.
It might have been.
Oh, yes, it was. It was absolutely horses. It was.
Okay.
On brand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Since I'm a horse girl.
And it wasn't too far away from when Stella did a whole episode about saddles. Yeah.
Oh my God. I could, if I had to just rant about something for 30 minutes straight, it would be why any book that features two people riding double is usually wrong. I could rant about that in saddles for just hours.
Honestly, where are all the horses while Skynet is taking over?
Yeah.
Asking the
Do you
real
need-
questions here,
Do you
James
need-
Cameron.
Where are the robot horses?
Ooh.
It is. It's phone booths. Aaron did phone booths.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do, Ansel?
I don't think I did one back then.
Yeah,
Ooh.
in the early seasons, it was just Aaron and I doing them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I was only ever supposed to be like a voice from the void to correct them when they made mistakes.
Oh, you're not supposed to have now they let you have your own opinions and everything.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't shut up, so I had to set up another microphone.
Because,
Isn't that how all good podcasts start?
because white men don't get to share their opinions enough. So
Yeah.
Hardly
Cool.
ever. It's so hard these days.
right. God, now that you have a white president, you can do anything.
Finally, some representation.
Exactly.
That's why I really appreciate them putting Jai Courtney in here. You know, for all of us mediocre white guys.
Oh, please. You're way more extraordinary than Jai Courtney.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh.
But your face
I'm
is
not even
nearly
from
as
Australia.
punchable.
That just means you're not a convict, right? Like, that's what they're...
It means my ancestors weren't convicts.
Maybe that's why he has such a punchable face.
But how do you feel about Vegemite?
Vegemite is disgusting.
I haven't tried Vegemite, but I do like Marmite.
It's so gross.
I'm a little surprised that Ansel's never had Vegemite.
It does seem like the sort of thing I would have had. Yeah, I haven't run into a lot of Australian shit.
I mean, if you've had Marmite, it's not overly different.
I mean, yeah, they're functionally identical.
They are the texture is similar enough that any differences in flavor would probably go unnoticed because they both taste like wet sand.
Incredibly bitter and salty wet sand. Thank you very much.
But the texture is that of wet sand.
Oh man, I legitimately like Marmite. I have a jar of Marmite in my
That
pantry.
makes sense for you.
I think the trick with Marmite, as with many things, is dosage. You got to do a thin layer of Marmite.
And butter.
God, yeah.
You need to do butter and the Marmite.
Yeah. Butter and Marmite and cheese if you're really getting nice.
What kind of
butter,
cheese?
Marmite, and a good cheddar. Oh, nah, that's a treat.
Not like a cheese whiz.
I very briefly worked for an Australian company, and once the
Philadelphian.
CEO came in and brought us all Vegemite to try, and when he offered me some, I just looked at him and said, "I've already done my time," which he did not appreciate.
That is hilarious.
That's why I don't work there anymore. No, it's a different reason. COVID is why I don't work there anymore.
Yeah. Now for a little audience participation section. I dare you to figure out what we're doing right now. Go ahead and comment with your timestamp for when you figure out what the heck it is we're doing.
I'm a millennial. I do it this way.
Yeah.
I can't do the
right way.
I've seen people do it like this. I mean, I think this is dumb, but
yeah.
My fingers are too... You can't do this with nails is the thing. Like, it looks weird when you have long fingernails. This becomes not a cute heart and more like a weird
So it's like more like a realistic heart.
Yeah. I understand the concept, but
I like
the
how
execution is lacking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how we're talking about this on a audio medium.
This is definitely going in episode 4, and I will just I'll have to preface it with just guess what we're doing.
The way the youths do it with their first and second
what is
fingers,
this?
hurts me.
It reminds me of like Daniel
That is
Radcliffe being
cool.
like pincers.
I mean, like, we just did the Star Trek stuff. Live long and prosper. Die quick and poor.
See, as someone who was into wrestling before watching Star Trek, this meant that it was Vader time.
What?
What time? It's Vader time.
You are making a reference.
Vader, who you may know from an episode of Boy Meets World.
Sure.
Because he plays the dad of the bully, Frankie.
Sure.
I didn't watch that show.
Whatever. Oh my God! Watch Boy
I was
Meets
watching
World.
Sailor Moon.
I know you have important
instead.
feelings about Topanga, but I do not.
Listen, Corey and Topanga were some of our greatest lovers of all time.
I don't understand
Who
this reference.
got it wrong a little bit, but listen, talking about changing for a man.
Oh yeah.
This girl was supposed to go to Yale and didn't because of this dummy.
That's
Yeah.
why my parents wouldn't let me. My mom was like, "You can't watch this show."
Oh,
kind of
I
funny
mean, that
because-
wouldn't have been until the very end.
Well, not very end. They kept going till they were in college.
And then they did the reboot about their kid.
Yeah, about
I didn't
the
watch
kid.
it, but I
Yeah.
heard it existed.
I liked it. I thought it was cute. It could have used one more season, but Disney shows end at 3 seasons.
That's
Those jerks.
whether they're done or not.
Yeah, exactly.
No Pachelbel in D.
Oh God, I was gonna do the Jaws theme, but I was trying to remember what it was, and then I was just like Jaws, and I'm like, no, that's not what it is. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah, no, what is
See,
that?
I remembered it.
It's not
All
the
right.
Jaws theme. Is it the Jaws theme? No.
No, Jaws.
No,
is
that's the Terminator theme.
Yeah,
That was
That's
the
Terminator.
one-
Terminator is.
Dun, dun,
dun, dun,
That was
dun,
the
dun, dun.
one theme music I learned to play on the violin, was the Jaws theme.
Nice.
I mean,
Because it's only 2 notes. It was really easy.
if you're gonna learn one, that's the one to start with.
Can you play it right now?
If I had a violin, no. Okay, I learned this in the 5th grade. I don't know how old you think I am, but that was a while ago. Been a bit.
It's been a minute.
It was 1997.
You mean you don't remember how to play hot cross buns on a recorder either?
No, so more tangents. My 5th grade class, we were required to take an instrument, and I
Okay.
wanted to take the trumpet. I wanted to learn how to play the trumpet,
Okay.
and I was told by my music teacher in probably 1997 that girls don't play the trumpet.
What the
So she made me pick a girl's instrument, which she told me I could play the
What?
violin, the viola, or the flute, or the clarinet.
What the
And
hell?
I chose the violin just because I was like, fuck it. Or the piano. I think I could have learned like piano. But I chose the violin
Wow.
because I didn't like any of the options. And I hated violin. I never practiced. And I basically just like fudged my way through the year and then never looked at playing an instrument ever again. And this is just another example of why, like, growing up as a girl in the 90s was kind of fucked up, because we got a lot of shit like that. And I probably would have played the crap out of a trumpet.
Hell yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, any instrument that you're
Yeah,
interested in,
like-
actively interested in as a kid.
yeah, like I feel like
Fuck yeah.
my teachers, because I was obviously such a neurospicy kid and they didn't know how to deal with that. They just, there were so many things that I look back and was like, I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't had teachers who like completely like belittled my ideas.
Right. Man, I had a similar music experience because I wanted to play drums. And I mean, I could understand why my parents wouldn't want me to play drums. But my teacher, who was a kind of a mean nun, she was just like, here's a recorder. And my parents tried to be like, oh, hey, look, your cousin Marlon, who's like a musician. They were like, look, he started by playing the recorder. That's how you should start too. And I'm like, I don't want to play the recorder. So like, I remember my mom telling me that like after seeing The Nun for the music lesson, like one day I was just like so upset that I like came home crying. I'm like, this is so hard. And then I dropped it, you know, and then occasionally I would sing in the choir, but like I didn't do music like I thought I would. And then eventually in high school, I got a drum kit like for free. And I'm just like, oh, punk music doesn't need to know how to read music.
Yeah, I switched to choir.
Fundamentals, don't know her.
Middle school because I didn't want to play instruments because that experience in 5th grade had been so bad. I was like, no, this is stupid now.
Yep.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I played clarinet all through middle and high school.
Do you still have a clarinet?
I do. I actually just unearthed it just a few days ago.
That's exciting.
Can I play it? Probably not. I don't remember any of the fingerings. Give me a few days, maybe I'll get there. But
okay,
yeah.
Next month we're gonna check in and you're gonna play the theme
I'll
song.
have to listen to the episode where Ansel breaks out the clarinet. No, we also had a piano in my house when we were growing up, but hilariously, my dad was taking piano lessons and he finally broke down and bought a piano so that he could practice at home. And it was just like a simple electric piano. It wasn't like a fancy piano or anything.
okay.
But he finally bought this piano, and then the place where he took classes closed. He couldn't find another like conveniently located one, and so he never took another piano class. And it sat in my parents' house for like 20 years.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
Longer, probably 30 years at this point. Been hanging out. It still works, I think. It's not plugged in, but I think if you plugged it in, it would probably still work.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Did he still like practice?
A little bit, but it didn't stuck. Like he was still pretty early in the whole like learning about the piano. And it's so funny. My dad is like so good at certain things, and I think he probably could have been really good at the piano because he has like a real ear for languages and stuff that my mother and I don't possess. So I really feel like he could have become a pretty decent hobby pianist.
You can find us on the internet. I am at Silverio20 on Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, etc.
I am Orion Has Moxie on Instagram and Blue Sky.
I am at The Indecisionist on all the meta properties, as well as Blue Sky and Reddit, and now on Letterboxd, where you can find information about all of the movies we have watched in all of our seasons of this show.
Follow us and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're still using a social media platform that uses hashtags, feel free to join the conversation with the hashtag #TimeToParty. That's time the number 2 party.
As well as time the number 2 party, all spelled out, thanks to Warwick. This has been an Indecisionist production. Special thanks to April Moralba for our podcast art, and to Marlon Longit of Marlon and the Shakes for our amazing theme song.
Please remember to be excellent to each other.
And now you say, and party on, dudes.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, the way you pointed, it looked like you were pointing at Ben.
Oh, he's already said his thing.
It's time to party on, dudes. Did I say it right? I fucked it up. Oh, God.
Rachel, have you seen
Bill and
Bill
Ted
and
thing.
Ted?
You're okay.
I have, but not for a very long time, okay?
You're good. No, it's just and party on, dudes. Why not? Try out another show from Indecisionist Productions. You've earned it. Welcome, adventurers from across time and space. 5 creators have been brought together from across the internet for one purpose and one purpose alone: to travel through time and have a good time doing it. When big changes happen to the timeline, the change attracts other time travelers like gravity. They won't be able to move past it until they fix whatever was messed up. So our heroes are stuck together, but only for the time being.
You're saying the secret part out loud.
I think that she is fine.
Okay, because you were both screaming. She was screaming, you were also screaming.
And you have brought it here, and you are the one who is effing up the timeline.
My hand is definitely still a little covered in blood. My like weird hand.
Do you scream when he screams?
Yeah, absolutely.
For the Time Being, a new actual play podcast from Indecisionist Productions playing the Mavericks system, available wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.